Hi all, and welcome to week 2 of the course in film history. This will be a pretty short video, especially compared to last week, and from here on out, they'll be about this length. The longer video last week was to go over everything for the course, learning objectives, a little bit of detail on the assignments, etc., my expectations, so on and so forth. I hope the class will be pretty straightforward for you, and so that's why going forward the videos will be much shorter. Last week you had a lot of time to do the first assignment. We only had one assignment and it was just a social media post, a Twitter post, so it was pretty short. Now that we're in our second week and you've had some time to look at the syllabus, look throughout the course on Blackboard and get used to the course, we're going to move it more of a faster pace than last week, but what is more of a normal pace for the course. And so you'll have 3 assignments due each week. They'll be due on Wednesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. That gives you, at least 48 hours or more in between each assignment and a little bit of a cushion at the start of the week to watch the video, figure out the objectives for the week, and then focus on those assignments. The majority of those assignments each week will be, either discussion board posts or social media posts. There'll be one major assignment each week. And so, the discussion board posts and the social media posts, those should be pretty straightforward. So what the videos will mainly address each week is the major assignment for that week. Give me a chance to go into a little more detail and really just speaking about it, I think, rather than, reading something on Blackboard can be helpful to understand what to do. So this week you'll have your first discussion board post due on Wednesday. You'll have your next social media post due on Friday, and those will cover units 2 and 3. So you need to be sure to read the materials, watch the screenings, and watch the lectures for those units. And then your first major assignment will be due Sunday. For the first half of the semester, all of the major assignments will be due on Sundays. We changed the pace a little bit the second half of the semester, and you'll have 1 or 2 major assignments due midweek, but the majority of them throughout the course are due on Sundays, and the first number of them for these first 3 or 4 weeks are due on Sundays. So that way you have the most time to do the biggest project for each week. All right, so with all of that said, I'll take just a minute here to talk about the actuality film, which is your major assignment worth 10% of your grade for this week. This is an example of what I like about this course and how this course is different from a normal, FMS course where often we ask you to write a bunch of discussion board posts, do some exams, maybe write an essay or 2. I think the projects for this class are much closer to things you'll actually be doing after you graduate and you go into the media industries. And also there's this element of film history I try to bring into the assignments that I think makes them fun and makes them a little different, but at the same time helps you really learn film history, not just reading about it in a textbook and answering questions, but really kind of practical. These are the things that have been done throughout history and film, and you're getting a chance to do these things. So if you're staying up on the readings and the lectures, you'll learn through these first 3 units about actuality films, which were the films from the turn of the 20th century, so very early, short, silent films. And so your project this week is to make your own actuality film, which should be really easy and cool and fairly straightforward to do, but hopefully really fun. And so, just looking at the assignment description, that's very straightforward. These are some of the earliest documentary films, and so it doesn't need to be very long. 30 seconds tops. You don't need to make a long film. I don't have time to watch a ton of long films, so 30 seconds maximum. So very short, and this doesn't need to be super professional because this isn't a filmmaking class. This is a film history class. So filmmaking can be a part of it, but it isn't the most major thing. So it doesn't have to be super professional. You can shoot it with your phone. So what I'm looking for is a 30-second film you make with your phone. But even though it's 30 seconds and even though it's with your phone, it's still you making a film, which I think is awesome. And I'm really looking forward to watching these next week when I grade them. So a 30-second film you make with your phone, a silent film, so you can remove the audio from it or replace it with something else. You can look at the assignment instructions for that, but it doesn't need to have any audio, no dialogue, none of that. And if you look at the lectures, there's plenty of examples of actuality films, and that's discussed in the lecture. So you should know what that is if you've done the reading. The most prominent example from the lectures is workers leaving the factory. And so your film can be very similar to that. It's a single static camera position in a single shot. So not multiple takes, not multiple shots, not moving the camera. You just hold the camera in one place, film something for 20 to 30 seconds from that single position. The idea is they show an aspect of real life in motion. That's the actuality part of it. And so you think of something that would be an interesting subject matter. What is a brief 20 to 30 second action that would be really interesting to film? So there's a creative piece here that should be fun. You pick the subject matter, you film it, and you give it a name. I think workers leaving the factory is a great example, and there's a link you can actually click in the assignment sheet that takes you to the YouTube video of workers leaving the factory. So you can see that example. That's a little bit longer. That's almost 2 minutes, but you get the idea. So this can and should be really fun. Think of an interesting subject matter, come up with a title, take 30 seconds and shoot it. You can do multiple takes till you get the best one, but the take should be, a single shot, 20 to 30 seconds. So hopefully that makes sense. It should be really fun. Next week when I grade them, I'm really looking forward to watching these, seeing what kind of creative things you come up with. So I think that's it. I'll try to have your first social media post graded in the next couple of days before your next assignment's due, but I'll have that graded soon. And for any of the assignments that are where you're required to turn it into social media, be sure you use the right hashtag. The hashtags are designed to identify our course, Spring FMS 200 Spring B, and then the unit, FMS Spring B 19, and then the appropriate unit number. So what I'll do is I'll go into Twitter or Instagram, I'll search for that hashtag and review all the posts and enter your grades into the grade book. So make sure you have your appropriate username on that Google Doc and make sure you use the appropriate hashtag. If you don't use the right hashtag, I won't find it and you'll get a 0. So in a few days after I've graded the first ones, if you get a 0, that's why. So, just be cognizant of that and make sure you're using the right hashtag. In this actuality film, you'll actually post that to Instagram. So be sure to fill in your Instagram username if you haven't yet on the doc, and be sure you use the correct hashtag, which in this case would be FMS, S for spring, 200B, 19, ACT in lowercase for actuality. Again, looking forward to watching these. Hope you have a great week. Please send me any questions you have via email. I haven't had many questions so far, so it sounds like the class is pretty straightforward and going well, but I am happy to answer any questions you have that can't be answered by the syllabus or the FAQs. I look forward to working with you. Have a great week.